What's going on, everybody? It's October 7th, 2022, Friday night, and it's daily log episode 25. So, reviewing the week, it was a very eventful week. We had a lot of news happening this entire week, especially today with NFP. And looking at the weekly chart here, this was the whole context of this week and what I drew your attention towards. And this is understanding higher time frame narrative and understanding what price is reaching towards and repricing from a premium into a discount. So we retrace back into that premium, into that fair value gap, and now we have decided to go lower as expected. I honestly expected the week to close out bearish, the weekly candle, but still a little bit bullish left in it. Next week, obviously, I'm still going to be looking for bearish prices into that fair value gap, into that bullish order block annotated beneath us. So that was a really cool study. Definitely put that in your study journals to annotate for future references when these type of weekly time frame setups appear, because then you can start going into your daily chart, 4 hour, 1 hour, etc., and start finding that entry pattern inside of that weekly PD array area. So the fair value gap area, you could start looking for your model to form inside of there. Looking at the daily chart, we had a swing high formed. So we had a high here, a lower high here, a lower high here. So that's a swing high here formed. We left this fair value gap open, which is a good sign when you want to see price just continue lower. You want to see fair value gaps stay open as breakaway gaps to kind of support the narrative that we are still bearish overall. I annotated yesterday to pay attention to this fair value gap. I wasn't by any means saying to look for longs there. I was just annotating to see how price traded into it and drew into it prior to NFP and during NFP. I also stated during the after the news driver event, so NFP, I had you annotate the 4 hour fair value gap here, which is a bullish fair value gap. And you can see how narrative is so important, because you can't just look at any PD array, so any fair value gap, order block, mitigation block, breaker, etc. You can't just look at that and enter there. There has to be a narrative and there has to be a reasoning why on higher time frames price is drawing towards a certain area. So were we bullish on the weekly, the daily? No. So this shouldn't have much support. This shouldn't have much validation when we're looking for bearish prices. And I just annotated it for you guys to see how it price traded into it. And obviously we just went right through it, which is amazing to see if we're bearish. So, and you can also use these as targets. Like let's say we went short up here, you can have your take profit down here. Even though you're not bullish, it's still a good area to take profit at. Even though, there's no really good liquidity points, that's a good area to take profits at, and underneath that low as well. So that's something for your study. The reason why we've just continued to go lower, we traded back up into this 4 hour fair value gap. I had you annotate. We didn't reach above the buy side liquidity. And while I'm sitting here, let me look at some other charts here. So US 100 or US 30, this exact high that is on US 500, we came up above it. US 100, if you look at this high here, did not. US 500 did not. So that is a bearish S&T divergence on the 4 hour time frame. Really strong confluence. If you go down to the 1 hour time frame, I haven't annotated much since yesterday, but we ran out the buy stops here. So this is just the YouTube model on a higher time frame. Ran out the buy stops, displaced lower, came back into this fair value gap right here. I forgot to mention this yesterday in the daily log. The reasoning why I took profits where I did was because of this bearish fair value gap on the 1 hour I was paying attention to. So we displaced lower, returned back into that premium, into that fair value gap, displaced lower again. And on NFP, we just immediately dumped. Buy side liquidity, relative equal highs is still resting here, but due to the SMT divergence, price doesn't need to get up into that buy side liquidity due to the Kraken correlation. Looking at the 1 hour, there was either fair value gap here that you could have used as a take profit or an area of just interest for you to study. So price gave nothing in here to go long, and obviously we're short overall, so I wouldn't be looking to long off of this. Looking at next week, we will attack 3558.4. That's what I believe price is drawing towards. Looking at the 30-minute, looking at today's open and what happened. Delete this. Let me put on midnight. So midnight wasn't much of a high of the day really set there. It was just barely going over the midnight open, and then 7:30 open we just literally dumped, which was NFP. So that's to be expected. Looking at the rest of the day, there really wasn't anything else super clean, and that's the reason why we stay out of NFP. Just for study purposes, we came back into this small fair value gap on the 5-minute and then traded lower. Looking at maybe a 2-minute or a 1-minute, let's see if we can find anything. Yeah, nothing really in here that would interest me. So that's the reason why we stay out of NFP. It's just pretty unpredictable. Some people trade it, some people don't, whatever you'd like. You know, whatever I say in here is always with a grain of salt, and always do your own analysis, do your own, I guess, just back testing and forward testing. You know, someone made a comment about how I said professionals take profits. And the guy was stating, and if you're listening, he was saying, you know, you shouldn't be saying that to people because I'm a profitable trader by taking fully out of my position, which very well may be true. And I'm only speaking from personal experience. That may work for you. It may work for whoever's listening and didn't even comment that, you know, maybe taking partials is not what works for you. So always do your own studying and how what I'm saying in here, and even ICT, even anybody else you're following, see how that applies to you. If it doesn't apply to you, then don't use it. It's that simple. So that's my biggest thing with teaching is like people can take it in so many different directions and they can always spin it back on you. When in reality, all I'm doing is giving my personal experience, and you take it however you would like. You take what I say and put it into your own system, and if it works for you, fantastic. Speaking on the community, I guess, group that I've gotten so many DMs and messages and even comments about Discord or a Telegram. And I've always been kind of, I've had Telegrams in the past where I've had people kind of the same thing I'm doing now, and people have always enjoyed it. The only problem I ever have with it is my attention and my focus goes too much to the group and more or less on my own trading, and my own trading can suffer sometimes because of that. And especially like if I was to create a group, somebody just commented, I forgot your name, but thank you for the comment. She was saying that I should create a Telegram group where I just have the comments off. You guys can react with emojis and stuff like that, but I'll be posting charts. And that way it's just a little less distracting to me. I was thinking of a Discord because I do like Discord and the way it's set up. But now thinking, I can already feel like if I'm in the middle of a New York session and I'm looking at Discord and there's hundreds of messages and questions and you know, why is price going here, this, that, it's going to be too much for my mind. Especially being free. I mean, I don't plan on charging anything because I personally just don't really care that much. I enjoy doing this, but if it becomes a strain on me, then that's where I stop. And that's why I like these daily logs, because I can just do my own analysis, record, and it's a benefit to me and a benefit to you guys. So I think I'll probably create a Telegram group chat, and that way I can just post day to day and even pre New York sessions and during the New York session what I'm thinking, and that way you guys can maybe learn a little bit more and in the moment. So definitely comment below what you think of that. I think that's the best option for us right now, and then we can just go from there. I know majority voted Telegram, and I actually think it's a pretty good idea now. So with that being said, I appreciate all you guys. I will talk to you guys maybe tomorrow. I'll touch base and I'll let you guys know the update on the Telegram group. So until then, good luck and good trading.